Today on my channel planner, friends, let's dive into my creative faith journal. Without even planning it, I ended up starting a study on the Psalms in here this month, and I haven't shown you this space for a while. So pull up a chair, pull up a cup of something to drink, and let's share some wonderful Psalms that I hope inspire you. Please, friends, stay tuned. Hello, planner friends, and welcome to my channel. I am One Crafty Dolo. I'm Dolores. I'm so pleased you're here with me today. Thank you for the gift of your presence, your time. I appreciate all your comments and your likes. And if you're a newbie, please feel free to join my growing community. What a lovely space we're creating together here on the YouTubes, as it were. On Sundays on my channel, it's always about Jesus, faith studies, faith journaling, and I always have a good mug of tea. Today it is Tetley British Blend. So I was debating what to do for this video. I know I film my videos close to the wire, which I shouldn't do, but this is for Sunday and today's Friday. And I realized I hadn't shown you this space for a bit of time. This has morphed a little bit as time has gone on. This is a planner I picked up on sale last, I want to say October, I think. And I hadn't used a vertical mini. I mean, this is the first year I've ever tried mini happy planners. And so I periodically decorate this space and make it seasonal, if you will, and pretty. And then I move out inserts, move in inserts, and so forth. And it's morphed in that I've had times where I was using it to track what I was doing in faith, kind of an active faith journal. And now I've just made it a space for faith journaling. Let me show you just how it's set up. So we'll go through these. And then what I did, since I purchased it, this was a July start. So after I purchased it, I had months that I hadn't used. So I ended up doing this where I just redated them. Very easy to do. I just grabbed a Carpe Diem numbers sticker pad and I went through and redated. So now I'm done with it until, I have it until the end of September. I got a few more months out of it. I'm really stepping into this year, repurposing and so forth. Here, I can show you real quickly. This was May. You see, like I would put in my Bible study and little verses here and there. And I like this space more than I would have thought. It's been good for me. And right now we moved, so I have to get involved with a new church and find out not only their services to make sure I like it and that it suits me. It's very important to find a space, and even if it's online, to get into the space and find people that you can worship with. Then I'll find out if they do Bible study and so forth. And in the meantime, I'm doing it here. This is another divider I created, and I work on articles in here. I write on Medium, although it's been a long time since I posted, and I have gratitude pages back here that I have set up. These were a real steal, and then I created this little, I love this. You saw the back of the one thing, it was the paper up front. When I cut paper, I save so many bits and bobs, because like this, you never know where it's going to come in handy. So that's kind of a tour of this. This was from the Happy in Paris line. I know I say this all the time, but I wish they would, I guess this was a reiteration of the Squad Girls, like bring back the Squad Girls, please, please. So let's get into July and I'll explain what I did in here. I've gained a lot out of this, and it wasn't intentional to do a study or start a small study on the Psalms, but I did so. And it's funny how, not funny, but listen, your life will ebb and flow. Things will change. People, are here, they're gone. There's so much going on sometimes in our lives One of the things that I'm so grateful to do in this space is to bring you where I am in my faith at this moment and to share it with you. It brings me a great deal of joy in my faith to do that. I feel it's like a calling, if you will. The other thing is, as I'm growing, as I'm learning, my goal is to lift you up wherever you are. I want you to know that the Lord is with you. Jesus is walking beside you. But sometimes as humans, and believe me, I'm a stubborn human. I have a joke with my husband and my son. I call them the two burros because they're so darn stubborn. Well, I'm not that far. I'm a junior burro, if you will, because sometimes I've not always leaned into where God's pushing me. And this is a result of leaning into it. This space, this channel, everything. And when I write here, blessed by God, we all are. It's just sometimes we don't see it. And I'm not negating sadness. I'm not negating loss. I'm not negating hardships. Believe me, I've been up and down so many roads filled with hot coals and fires. But you are loved. And if you came on here today and you needed a boost, please let me boost you in his love. How's that? Does that make sense? I hope. I just extemporaneously, sometimes I have notes. On my desk here, I keep these little Post-it notes, and sometimes I'll put the notes over here on the side so I can see them. But I didn't do that today. That's just from my heart to yours. So let's talk about the wonderful Psalms. We know that King David, Jesus is descended from the lineage of King David, which goes all the way back to the lineage of Tamar. See my study on the Women of the Bible Speak. So I think one of the reasons I love the Psalms, and I return to them again and again, even though I've not done a formal study, is that they're just wonderful insights into King David, into God, into Jesus, and why he was sent here. So as Christians, we know why he was sent here, but it just kind of reiterates. I don't know. I just find them very soothing. So originally, I thought this is going to be the only week I did something in the Psalms, and I was wrong. Psalm 46, 1 through 2. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear, though the earth gives way. So I wrote here, refuge and strength. This here is one of my favorites. These are all favorites, actually, truthfully. Psalm 46:10, be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. And Psalm 34:8, oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in him. I love one of the things in the Psalms over and over again is that they're constantly reminding us God is our strength, our shield, our refuge, our rock, our fortress. And it's so easy in the day-to-day scrum of your life to not think about that. But if you step back and think about it, it's humbling, right? It's very humbling. And when you think about blessed is the man who takes refuge in him, he wants us to come to him with our problems. He wants us to turn to him. He wants us to live in faith and to acknowledge all of what he does. But I've done this, so understand, speaking for myself, again, sometimes you get caught up in the day-to-day scruff and scrum of life. It just is, and it's hard. So then what I did, so I went through these three. I was reading, and I really thought, I went back and reread the entirety of Psalm 34, and I found so many more good tidbits in there. I thought, well, gee, I'll put them in. This is how this study happened. I'll put them in the next week. So then I went to Psalm 34:4. So I went back a little bit from 34:8. I sought the Lord, and he answered me and delivered me from all my fears. And I just synopsis here, God delivers us. And as someone who's dealt with anxiety, which has actually been better as of late, thankfully, much better, and in large measure, I think that's because of all my faith studies and this channel. Keeping that front and center is often hard. I always feel there's a tug of war, and you have the world and its nonsense on one side, trying to pull you in, pull you down, tell you you're less than, tell you you're not worthy. And on the other side of God and Jesus saying, you're loved. No, you're beloved. We are here for you. We deliver you. We are your rock, etc. And yeah, something I've been working with my son on, because he actually suffers from anxiety from even as a little child, unfortunately. And we've been talking about these things, and it's such a gift, A, to pass our faith down to him, but B, it's also a gift to encourage him as a young adult in these verses. Psalm 34:17. When the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all their troubles. And I wrote, God hears us because he does. And so we stay in faith, even when the clouds come and the rain is pouring down. We stay in faith. In fact, in those moments, it's even more vital to stay in faith. It's even more necessary. It's even more important. And consider this your reminder of that. And if life has beaten you down lately, you're covered. It may not feel like it at this moment sitting here with me, but trust me when I tell you, God hears us. He delivers us. He's got us covered. And then we get into Psalm 34:19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. So again, it's interesting how in the Psalms they discuss the righteous, meaning the people who are in faith, meaning the people who are walking forward, knowing that God is there with them. And that's something I think that in particular, this verse really pertains to life today. Yeah, it just does. And again, I went right in. It's so funny, isn't it? Not haha. Again, it's ironic how we have certain verses, the be still verse, Psalm refuge and strength. We have certain verses that we keep with us all the time. And yet the wonder of this space is exploring additional verses to learn and to be healed by. So then what I did is I was like, well, I am finding strength in the Psalms. So what I decided for this week here was to go back to the earlier Psalms. And I knew some, it's patchy. I know 5 a bit. I know some 6. And what I did was dive into this space figuring, hey, these are working. Let me go back to the beginning. So quite frankly, what I did in this space is I started at the wrong end of it. I started in the middle, I started in the middle, and then I'm like, oh, gee, this could be good. I'll go back to the beginning. And so that just goes to show you how this just naturally transpired. And in my own opinion, I believe I was led to do this. I don't think this was happenstance. This all comes about as we're moving, as life is changing. And here we are. And it was a not so gentle reminder of God to say, hey, keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on the strength I give you. And so, yeah, I did it backwards, but well, that's me sometimes. Sometimes I just do things backwards, friends. So here we have Psalm 2, verse 7. The Lord said to me, you are my son today. I have begotten you. And then we go into Psalm 3:3. But you, O Lord, are a shield about me, my glory and the life of my head. Okay. The lifter of my head. Oh, good Lord. Sorry about that. So what it's saying is we are God's children, right? I am with you. I'm your refuge. I am, you are beloved. And he is in turn saying, you, Lord, are a shield about me, and when I'm down, you lift me up, my head and all. Psalm 5:12, for you bless the righteous, O Lord. You cover him with favor as with a shield. And Psalm 6:2, heal me, O Lord, for my bones are troubled. Oh my goodness, don't you feel that inside you? You just, oof, yes. So I thought going back was a good idea. And then these are all different verses from Psalm 9, which is, again, one I didn't know very well, but I found myself falling in love with it. Psalm 9:9. The Lord is a stronghold for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. Psalm 9:10. For you, O Lord, have not forsaken those who seek you. So again, it's a constant reminder. You have strength. You are given strength. You're giving fortitude. When the sea is storming about you and you're being tossed about with the waves of life, here you go. Seek him. You know you are covered, but somehow we forget. And we are never forsaken by God. Never. And what a beautiful, calming feeling to hold on to share with you. It is my privilege to share this all with you. Please know that today. Psalm 9:13, be gracious to me, O Lord, see my affliction from those who hate me. Okay, I'm going to pause here a minute. Not partially. Why we moved was dissatisfaction, professional dissatisfaction, and it involved someone who appeared nice at first, and then the wolf came out, and she was just unhappy. And unfortunately, unhappy people have a tendency, if they want to, spread it about. But here's the thing. Once we ended our professional associations and so forth, as hard as it's been, and I'm not patting myself on the back here, but I have been praying her up, this particular individual. And I pray her up because you can hate, you can make, I think hate in this case is too strong. I think there was a lot of feeling insecure, intimidated, and so forth. But just because that person has those feelings towards you doesn't mean you need to have those feelings towards them. And in fact, if you absorb those feelings and push them around inside of you, then you're contaminated by their whatever. And it just festers in you and it doesn't do you any good. And so it's really harsh sometimes. And sometimes a decision you make for whatever reason, and you think, man, I don't know, do I want to make this decision? And then it turns out for the better, which it is already. And then I sit there and think, Lord, you knew exactly what you were doing. You led us along. I'm not absorbing that person's crazy or whatever it is. I recently, a former colleague turned friend, ran into something. And as soon as she explained the situation and how she was ambushed and, I don't want to get too far into it. They really did a number, and she started to explain about the new supervisor. She was set up. And I said, well, that person knows you know more than they do, so they had to get rid of you, right? These are a blueprint. This Psalm 9, is a blueprint for those types of troubles. And the timing of this for us, I can't negate that that's important here. And Psalm 9:14, because I wanted to end this positive, that I may recant all your praises. Meaning, okay, you get me, whether you're oppressed, you're in times of trouble, keep in faith. Because when you do that, God will lift you up and out of the situation, and don't hold on to the bad feelings, the negativity. And then we walk into favor, we walk into light, we walk into God's mercies, and it's like the sun comes out again. And we're better than we were before. And so that's the story of how I fell into this self-made study on the Psalms, and I laugh because sometimes I think backwards is my favorite way of doing things, you know? It just is. I mean, it just is. Let me give you a quick note on my deco in here. So this is a botanical sticker book I picked up from Amazon. I love it. It's on my Amazon list. I'm not shilling things. I'm not hawking things to you. It's just an easy way for me to have you find things that I'm using and to share it. So check out my Amazon list. It was like just under $10 and it's really big. I'm using it all the time. I love it. I love this little book. Well, it's not little. It's pretty good size. I have been buying from smaller makers, but sometimes I will pick up something like this, and this is well worth it. And all the birds and the butterflies and the dragonflies. And then I had this book I picked up a bit ago from Mojo Jojo Plans, and it's her pastel journaling boxes. And I like these because of lines. I am not the straightest writer, so having lines in this space has really helped me. So what I think I will do for August is, truthfully, I'm going to keep on in this vein. I'm going to continue going through the Psalms. I'm up to Psalm 9. Now I'm going to go into the teens of the Psalms and maybe into the 20s. And since I still have August and September in this space, let's see how far I get and what I can do with it. Because sometimes we don't know what we're doing or where we're going in terms of our own studies or what we need biblically. And I feel that this year I've really been led to some really good, impactful studies. And it's my honor and privilege to share them with you in the hopes of, if you're in the muck, if you're struggling, I'm extending my hand to you and reminding you that you will be lifted. You are lifted. And if I'm helping you up, I hope. And if I can pray for you, please let me know in the comments below. It is my privilege and my honor to lift you up in prayer, because Lord knows there's never a time where you can't have enough prayers for yourself. So that's it, friends, for today. Me and my tea. I think I'm going to sit down and maybe do some deco in here for next week. I'm just going to take some time, and maybe at some point I can get these videos done earlier. It just never seems to be. I like to come to you from you where I am in the moment. And I'm going to leave you again, okay, with 34:4. I sought the Lord, and he answered me and delivered me from all my fears. And 34:19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. Thanks so much for spending time with me, friends. Goodness knows you are a blessing to me, and let's continue to grow in faith together. Thanks again for being here, Planner and Faith friends. Have a blessed day. Bye now.